Welcome to the New to Wrestling podcast, where I, your host, Xavier Cruz, a lifelong wrestling fan, will take a lifelong friend through the action, the joys, and the drama of the world of professional wrestling. My co-host, Kelsey Silva, has been bitten by the wrestling bug, and I want to invite you to join us as I take her through the moments that made me a fan. So if you're new to wrestling and would like to get brought up to speed, or a fan who would like to relive some classic matches, promos, and segments through fresh eyes, join us as we embark on a journey through the Attitude Era and beyond. Welcome to the New to Wrestling podcast. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the December 9th, 1996 edition of Monday Night Raw, and the match card is as follows. In our opener, we had Sycho Sid versus Hunter Hurst Helmsley in a champion versus champion match. In our second match, we had Goldust with Marlena facing Bart Gunn. In our third match, we had a handicap match, which saw Jesse James take on Justin Hawk Bradshaw and
Zebekiah?
Yes.
They really try and get you with that one.
They really did. And then in our main event was the Undertaker and Mankind in a no-holds-barred match. All right. So this one was like, as far as like matches goes, they really like stepped it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Because in the last couple of weeks, it's been very jobber heavy, I guess.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, they were like, let's discuss. And like, there's maybe a little wrestling.
And
this one was
a
like,
lot more. They brought out the heavy hitters.
They really did.
We'll say. Because the episode starts with a kind of, I want to say like a little like teaser for the no holds barred match that kind of gives you a recap if you have not seen all of the other clashes between Mankind and The Undertaker, to kind of get you up to speed a little, get your palate right.
Which, even though I was up to speed, I still wanted to see it.
Oh, so I absolutely loved it. It was great.
Loved it.
Because it starts, it's just like, it started with betrayal, and it's just like, and just in giant letters on a black screen, betrayal. And it's like, great. And then there was a burial, and it's like, burial.
The hand coming up, I was like, oh my god.
And then there was a rebirth, and we were just like,
him like, floating down from the it really was, it was like the greatest hits. It was actually
like stunning. I felt like they were giving us like you know when someone gives you that like compilation album that you see the commercial for at like 2 a.m, where it's just like with
the greatest love songs.
Yeah, no, literally, exactly, where it gives you like a list of like Dion. 400 of them. But like and like every so often, whoever they're talking about, the name will just like pop out. Like that's how it felt. It was just like with hits like burial and rebirth,
betrayal, backstabber.
Oh my god!
I listened to that so quick though. Oh, I would bump that CD.
Are you kidding? Give me a taste of that backstabbing goodness.
Okay, swear to God though. The only flavor.
Right. And then in our opener, they gave us the WWF champion. They were like, let's just start it off hot. He came out looking dewy as ever.
Thank God.
We find out that he will be facing Hunter Hurst Helmsley, and that this is a non-title champion versus champion match. This isn't a winner take all kind of situation.
They both have the titles, but will not be fighting for the titles.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So Sycho Sid makes his entrance. He's chilling, and then all of a sudden, Hunter Hurst Helmsley starts to make his entrance, and Sycho Sid does not want to wait for any of it, and just barges up the ramp, and just starts. He like basically like 300 punts Hunter like up the aisle, all the while like Hunter's music is just playing, and at this point Hunter's music is just like a string quartet, like
It reminded me of this time when I was in high school, because people used to fight where we went to high school.
Yes, they did, frequently and without abandon.
Reckless abandon, and thank God someone always filmed it. But we did Beauty and the Beast as the high school musical one year.
Right.
And which, by the way, I'm going to air him out. Xavier was the beast, just saying. I was in the pit orchestra and I took my job like way too seriously. So I was like listening to, we were about to go to rehearsal and I was like listening to the musical score of Beauty and the Beast. And it was like the opening number where it's like, there goes the baker with this tray, like very jaunty, very like whatever. And suddenly there was a girl fight, right? Like a violent girl fight right in front of me. I won't name names. Just like the most insane violent girl fight in front of me, like slamming into lockers. All the while I'm like just standing there in shock, and all the while in my headphones it's like, there goes the baker with this tray. And this girl is getting her ish rocked. Oh my god,
100%. But that's very much the energy it gave.
Very much the energy it gave. Like Hunter Hurst Helmsley was getting his ish rocked, and it was just like da 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 da, and we're just like, what?
And you're like, can we cut this? I was like,
cut the track. Cut the track.
Like, this is no longer like his little moment in the sun to walk down to the ring. I was like, stop.
No, and I understand Sycho Sid completely, because he do take his time. Oh my god, he saunters. Saunters to the ring.
He makes sure everybody sees him coming.
Bows. It's too much. I get it. It just went right in. And I will say it was the precursor for the flavor of the rest of the match, because
he never got out of the gate.
Out of the gate.
There literally at one point during the match, Kelsey literally asked me, has Triple H actually hit any moves? And I could not think of one instance where he got any kind of memorable offense on Sycho Sid. Like, Sid was all over him from the rip. He kicked him up the ramp. He kicked him back down the ramp. He brings him into the ring and then overhead press slams him. And the way that Hunter gets dropped, it sounded like a gunshot. Like, it was so smack dab in the middle of the ring, and it was from so high, and it was so hard. It just reverberated. It was so loud.
Like, people like ducked in cover. They were like, whoa, like, what just happened? Like, it was so I don't know what happened. Like, obviously the outcome, I guess, was to make Sid look strong and Hunter look like the little bitch he is. But I know he won't always be that, but right now he's so annoying to me. But he just got beat up. Like, literally he just got beat up. It was, like I said, very reminiscent of that experience in high school. Very one-sided.
Yeah. And it was crazy because, like, Hunter also has a championship match on Sunday.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was like, what was the point of this? Like, it was weird.
I think it probably solves two things. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the outcome of this weekend, or, the pay-per-view that's upcoming. But I feel like they had a whole plan with Hunter winning the title, like, with Perfect. And then once Perfect, like, jumped ship, they were just like, oh, Hunter just, like, has the title now. Like, what's the plan? So, like, I'm wondering if their plan is to, like, kind of, like, drop it back to Miro. So it makes Sycho Sid look good, but it also detracts a little bit from Hunter going into his championship match. So he's already on, like, a losing streak before he even, like, gets into the ring. So he's already in like a loser mental headspace, if that makes sense.
Yes, and the expectation is that he'll probably lose, or like you think you're like, oh, I don't know, he's not looking so good out there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or at least I feel like that's how they want it to make it look. Like, granted, the whole thing with him is that he's like a sneaky little shisty, like
this is true.
He finds a way. But I think it'll be more intriguing if he finds a way, if you already kind of assume that he's like a lost cause.
This is true. I'm glad you said that, because I was like, I don't.
Otherwise, he's just kind of like always just like the cheater, which is like fine, but it's not that interesting.
Yeah, because there's only so many, like, the Intercontinental Championship, like, switcheroo or whatever happened was crazy. It was like heart-stopping. At least it blew my mind. Like, I could not sleep that night. I was like, what did I witness? Snakes in the grass. I really can't. But yeah, there's only so many times I feel like you can do that before you're like, okay, so now what?
Right. What else do you do?
True. Yeah.
During this match, we do find out that Shawn Michaels will be sitting ringside for the Sycho Sid Bret Hart match, which
Exciting
is
stuff.
big T, big T,
Big
because
T.
neither of the participants are particularly big fans of Shawn. Like,
I feel
Bret's
like
not
they
a big
all don't like
fan.
each other, and I'm like really here for that.
So that's just a little added little sugar on top just for that one.
Little seasoning.
So the match continues. Psycho Sid is absolutely dominating. Absolutely dominating. He picks up Triple H for a like very like delayed choke slam. Like he picks him up and just holds him there just to be like, I can,
Yeah.
before dropping him and then jacking him up in the power bomb. But Triple H rolls to the outside and just starts crawling up the ramp and gets himself counted out, thus losing the match.
Really embarrassing stuff, to be honest.
Right.
Like, if you're gonna lose, like, have a little dignity, in my opinion. But
He was like, I'm done with that. Thank you very much.
Which I guess, you never know what you're gonna do in the moment. Like, I guess if I was getting beaten up that bad, I might bow out. But
I don't know. So the next match we saw Goldust with Marlena taking on Bart Gunn, who we really haven't seen too much of since the Smoking Gun split. We've seen a ton of Billy in the last couple weeks.
Too much.
But not too much Bart. So
and we haven't seen Goldust either, really.
No, correct. He hasn't really had any kind of like feuds of note as of late. I'm wondering why that is. Unsure. Probably just because we're spending a lot of time getting to know you with all these other people.
True.
So he hasn't really been like, the main focus. But the thing is, with wrestling, no one, it's like a revolving door,
Right.
It is a season in the sun. So like,
yep. True.
He's probably, he's just on the other half. What is it like? Australia has like summer when we have winter.
Yeah.
Vice versa. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
To start this match, Goldust dusted Bart with a palm full of gold dust behind the referee's back while he was attending to Marlena, who I'm just gonna say it. Marlena was like, she always looks like great, but like as far as like her numbers go, this was just kind of a run of the mill number for me.
You're right.
You know what I mean? It felt very like costume dress, like very like has the Velcro in the back kind of dress. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that hurts. You're right, though.
Sorry,
because it's true, because like the fact that we didn't, while we were watching, didn't even talk about it.
Right.
Because normally we're like, oh my god, look at what she's
like, because normally she's eating,
swear,
so like,
yeah. And it was and I'm really not a leopard print girly, and it was like that micro leopard print, which like fine, if you can pull it off, like go off, like that's your journey, good for you. But it just like wasn't,
because it was like attached to like a floor length dress. Like,
yeah,
it was like the bodice was like that print.
You're right. It was giving costume, like she was trying to be like sexy jaguar for Halloween, but it wasn't like, the execution was kind of poor. No offense, Marlena, we love you, but we just like know you're better than this.
Right.
Especially after you haven't been here in weeks. Like, girl, you had time.
I know. Like, drop the goods.
Drop the fit. Like, hello. Anyway, sorry.
So she herself gets involved while Bart is on the outside recovering from some heinous thing that Goldust has done. She comes up, grabs Bart by the hair, and blows smoke in his face. And it, honest to God, looked like, and even everybody on the commentary team was like, it looks like she's gonna kiss him for a sec. But no, she just blew some fat cigar smoke in his grill.
As is her way.
As is
love that about her.
During this match, we get a little backstage interview-esque thing with Billy, who is watching the match backstage. And basically he basically tries really hard to say that he's the one that carried the team. And the issue I have with it was, first of all, like, if you're gonna be the person that's like trying to be like, I run this shit, like, maybe finish the sentence. Like, maybe not stammer over every thought that you've ever had. Like, if you could piece them together in a way that was conceivable to make me believe as the user, as the watcher, that you're the leader in this scenario, that would have been swell. Like, just
Woo! Okay,
and
that's what
I
I'm
like
saying.
Billy Gunn outside of this character, but this version is trash.
It's so bad. No, seriously, like if you're the one that's in charge, we need to have undercover boss come in here right now and question management. What's going on? Because also, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it too. The outfit is heinous. It's like okay, he's wearing a vest that is, and you guys might remember these because I remember these being around in the 90s and thinking these were heinous. Like it's denim in the front and plaid in the back.
Oh yeah.
Like the two texture, the two fabric. Because I remember there was a lot of like half and half, like half my shirt was denim and like horizontally or perpendicular, you know what I'm saying? Like in the front. But his is literally like the front is denim, the back is plaid, and then his pants exactly match the denim of the vest. So from the front, he just looks like he's gonna paint a house or something, and then the back is just plaid. It's so horrible. And then he wears a black cowboy hat and black boots.
And my thing is, like, they have been like a tag team and tag team champions for like 3 years. So why can't you put together a better promo? And I get it, it's probably because it's his first like foray, like as like a solo person. But there's this occasion, and then later on when he comes and interferes himself in the match, he just repeats the same thing. Like there is no more. He's gotten to like a certain point as like where the point he wants to hit, and then when there's more time than that, he just repeats the point that he just made. Like he did it twice. It's like, so in the promo, he's like, oh, I carry the team, and like he says something else, and he's like, oh, like I carried the team. Like I was like, we heard you the first time. We
heard it. We got it.
And then
we barely carry the mic. Like, what are we doing?
Right, but we did get announced that this was going to be a match next week on Raw.
God, I know. I want to see them fight so bad.
So for podcast purposes, that's not going to be the next episode. It's going to be the episode after that. The next episode we will be watching is going to be In Your House, It's Time, the pay-per-view.
But I will say Bart better have a new outfit by then. Billy also, but Bart is still wearing
just exactly the same.
What he wore when he was a tag team, and it's like, babe, let it go. Like now we need when they come out to wrestle, the two of them, like he better be wearing like something new. Like, because that's like his rebirth, his like rebrand, his whatever. Like,
give me something. Give me something.
And honestly,
that says like this is different.
Swear, and honestly, his boots are his brown suede like cowboy boots are so worn out. Like it looks like he's wearing UGG boots. Like he looks like he's wrestling in jeans and UGG boots for real. And like we can't do this anymore. Because I'm rooting for you, Bart. I love you. I'm rooting for you. Girlie said it's autumn. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
It's time to whip out the Uggs. It's autumn, girl. No. For Christmas, because this episode aired December 9th, I was like, Bart, for Christmas, you need to ask for some new boots, babe.
Yeah, you better get your ass on Santa's lap and start asking.
Swear to God, because they are doing that Ugg thing where like the bottoms are like this now. Yes. Like they're like off the. No, please. Please, I need something else. Bart, I'm rooting for you, sweetie, so bad. I wanted you guys to break up so bad. I'm rooting for you. We need something else, please.
Amen. So the match finishes when Bart tries to go up for like a top rope maneuver. Why he never does that. And fully misses, hurts his like leg in the process. Goldust takes advantage and then gets the victory. And then that's when Billy decides to saunter out with his little string banging ass and start just like start getting in his brother's face and starts yelling at him, talking about like, this is what happens like when I'm not around. And I was like, you're nothing without me. I was like, why does it sound like you want to like get back together as a tag team? Like,
so bad.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought you were like done. You carried the team. You were the
Mm-mm.
head honcho. Like, do you want to be on the team or do you not want to be on the team? Like, what's the story?
That's why I'm so confused. The promos are so misguided.
Right. They're all
Because
over the
how
place.
how sick would it have been though if like when he did that little promo backstage, he said what he said, whatever, and he came out and all he said was like see what I like, or like said like almost like an I told you so, but like
Right.
quick, like one sentence, and then like threw the mic and just like ba ba ba, like
Right.
something just like you don't have to do that much. Like you already said, like you said, he already said everything. Now just go out there and be like, told ya, bah. Like
Right.
that's it. That would have been so much better.
It's
Anyway,
but that's another one of those, like, like a picture's worth 1,000 words. You know what I mean? Like, you can
true.
do, you could have, he could have, with like a few actions, told me all of that instead of like literally telling me
Telling
all of that.
me. This is
Whereas,
true.
especially in like the scenario of like pro wrestling, like, show me, like, kick his ass,
Just hit him. I don't know. Just hit him. You're
um.
right. You're right.
So after that match, we move on to a new little segment, or a little promo, I should say, from Zebekiah and Justin Hawk Bradshaw. And this was like one of those scenarios. First of all, Zebekiah came out like cutoffs, just like he said, "I'm going sleeveless." And when I tell you, when I tell you,
I'm putting this bitch in sport mode.
literally, this man. So he's just like, he comes out and then he's like, he's already just like hooting and hollering about something. And then he's like, "Oh, like, you're dumb enough to challenge like the both of us." And then he was like talking about how he was in Vietnam, and like then there was some more yelling. And I was like, all of a sudden, like, while he's like yelling, I'm having this like moment where I'm like, what is it about this week where he suddenly looks like 15 years younger? And
Yes.
I was like, something about like the prospector, like, head to toe fit that he was, like, rock, just like made him look like he was like 65, like hardened by the elements, like lives his life with a pickaxe, like
Pardoned by his trip on the Oregon Trail. Like he just
no,
almost
like,
died of dysentery, but he lived.
no, actually,
Lost his Constagogo wagon, or however you pronounced it.
no, but then he comes out like this week,
Like
and
young cousin It.
right,
Young
right.
cousin It. Cousin
Oh,
It in his teenage years.
that was wild. And then um Justin Hawk Bradshaw chimed in with his 2 cents at the end. And no, again, I don't know what he said. He mentioned the branding iron and about like using it on his booty. And then
Woo!
Kelsey hits me with the, "Oh, I wish he didn't speak. He was so much prettier before he spoke." And I just wanted to say, like, first of all, true of most men, but second of all, very
Say
true in relation to wrestlers, because boy, will they let you down once they open their mouth.
Wow. Oh my god. First of all, thank you for just airing me out. Second, no, that it's so funny because every week we watch the Hawk wrestle, I'm like, wow, look at him. He's so great. He's so tall and look at his thighs. Wow. And then he like spoke and I was like,
Did it
oh,
all come to?
I wish you hadn't said anything. Because like you said 1,000 words when you just said, I don't really know what he said. Because what did he say? I
I
don't even know
don't
what
know.
he said. But something he was like, when a cow, you're gonna be screaming like a cow when they feel this on their booty. And I
Right.
was like,
Referring to
what?
like the branding iron stamp.
Which again, like we discussed, is not hot. It's not hot. No one is screaming when you whatever. It was just like,
it was weird.
oh, it was odd. It was really uncomfortable. Super bizarre.
So
I
that,
didn't need it.
no, I did not need that at all.
Not at all.
But that interview segues into the handicap match with Jesse James and Justin Hawk Bradshaw and Zebekiah. They have once again subjected us to Jesse James singing his own theme song. And I feel like it's just going to be a thing every time. And
This
it's
poor
just
man.
like, stop, like, leave the poor man alone.
I'm really starting to feel bad for him.
He's already stuck in a gimmick he doesn't like. Why are you doing this? And the thing that's hilarious is, while he's like coming out and like singing, he like changes the words a
I
little bit.
died.
And he's like, I can't wait for like, and then he was like, Justin Hawk, Bradshaw, and Zebekiah, and then throws the mic at them, just like says their names really fast and it chucks it at them. It just starts the fight. Like I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're in this now.
That was so funny because he just was like singing it, and then something was like, I can't wait to see Justin Hawk, Bradshaw, and Zebekiah tonight, and then just like, psh, and then like
just
fighting.
just right in there.
Was wheezing. I was laughing so hard. But I just feel like I'm starting to feel bad for him where it's like it's that song that like that artist like can never let go of. Like 10 years after it was a hit, they still have to do it as like the closer at their concert or like the encore.
God.
Like it's that song that just haunts them. Like I just feel like he must hear this song in his sleep. Like
and just
when
like wake up in a cold sweat. Just
yeah,
like
yeah. I just
remember when.
oh God.
This match was very good.
It was good.
Like Jesse James has been looking very good in the ring.
Yeah.
Like he handled the two of them very well. Like he was all over the place. He was like distracting Zebekiah, like coming in to fight like Bradshaw. And once Bradshaw was down, he was coming back to hit Zebekiah. Like he was all over the place. He was on it. But there was a little miscommunication with the between Justin Hawk Bradshaw and Zebekiah, which I don't know. How do I even like describe the ending of this match?
I don't even know how it happened. Like somehow, like the Hawk was holding Double
Jesse
J,
James, right?
And then Zebekiah was gonna come in with the
branding iron thing.
the branding iron, and classic silly geese behavior, classic wrestling. Whoopsie, like just went to I don't know, stab him or in the face, like hit him in the face with it,
right?
And Jesse James at the last second like dropped,
right?
And so Zebekiah smacked the Hawk with it,
right?
And then Jesse James, I guess, took advantage of the situation,
yeah, and got the victory.
Which I have a question because I was confused. Because since it was a handicap match, but I thought Jesse James would have to pin both of them, but he only had to pin one of them because they're like a team.
Yeah, because they're acting as a tag. They're acting as a tag team. He's just acting as like a single competitor.
Okay, got it.
So he has to beat the team. Like just
I see. Okay, because I was like, oh, now he's gonna fight Zebekiah, which will be allegedly easy. And
right.
But
no.
Then it was over.
No, that was the end of the match.
Oh, okay.
And much to our surprise, Justin Hawk Bradshaw then turned on Zebekiah and just nailed him. He was just like
wrecking his shit.
Yeah, because apparently it's like a one strike you're out rule with these managers. As Kelsey said, she was like,
I was like, there is no forgiveness in this game. Like he made one mistake. He's not even a wrestler. I was like, he doesn't even wrestle. Like, yes, he's a manager or whatever, but like he didn't even hit him like one time. He hit him like multiple times. Like at one point, literally set himself up to bounce off the ropes to get more momentum to hit him again. Like, I was like, he made a mistake. I was like, you didn't hold tight enough. Like, I don't know. I was just like immediately turned on him, takes the branding iron and brands Zebekiah.
Yeah,
poorly, we might add.
Smudgy.
Very poorly. It was smudged. It was messed up.
And my favorite part is that they like gave you like a close-up camera shot of it.
Yeah, like don't just lie.
They were like, look at this.
They're like, wow, God, I'm good. And it was like But I just like, is this supposed to be the rebrand? Like where they like part ways and like just like
the
Hawk is supposed to become somebody else? Because
he has many iterations. I don't know when they start and stop. So
if this is it, if this is like the kickstart of the rebrand, I feel like it was a little
forced, random,
yeah, but sure, okay,
right. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, like clearly they're no longer together, so
yeah,
we'll see what becomes of the next iteration of Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
It's weird times.
Then that leads us into Jim Ross interviewing Bret the Hitman Hart ahead of his world championship match. And this was great. This was short and sweet. He said
Wonderful.
everything he needed to say. Basically, JR spent way too much time detailing the things that have happened to Bret Hart over the last couple weeks. And then basically Bret Hart was just like, I have thought about nothing else except this title for the last 8 months. I want it. You're in my way. And then he goes on to be like, when you snap, they call you Sycho. When I snap, they're going to call me world champion. And that was such a good line.
So good. Love that.
Yeah. And then he kept it. He wrapped it up short and sweet. He said, you are going to be excellently executed by the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Mic drop. I'm out. Like, amazing. That was it. It was
so good.
Short, sweet, hit every point, hit it well, didn't stumble over any of those. Like, that's just, he's excellence of execution on any variation of that is not an easy thing to say repeatedly.
Nope.
So just statistically, like, you're gonna fumble that bag, but he didn't, and it came out A1.
So good. And he was wearing a denim jacket with his own face on the back. That's an excellence of execution.
What a guy.
And his just face, just like,
he was really,
I was like honestly, goals, seriously.
Wrestlers are really on that whole like wearing their own merch thing. Like,
and I'm here for it.
Right.
You made it, you designed it, it's your face, like, might as well wear it. That's what I'm saying.
Their part of their money comes from how many t-shirts they sell.
So like, because I was literally like, do they still make that denim jacket? Like, I even thought about it. That's a great denim jacket.
I feel like you should just get into airbrushing just like all of these wrestlers onto denim jackets. Just start a business.
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's not a bad idea.
It's definitely not a bad idea. We'll see how it goes, but
listen, early days, gotta start somewhere. Yeah. So our main event, Mankind versus The Undertaker. We have had, this has been a long time coming. They have been charging at each other for a hot minute. So, before we even get into this match.
Wait, what?
JR?
Oh, yes, we have to talk about this.
Go ahead. I will let you take this one.
I was it JR or was it Vince McMahon?
I thought it was JR. Was talking about Mankind, I'm assuming.
Oh, I don't know why. Now I'm confused because I thought it was Vince McMahon talking about The Undertaker.
Maybe that was it. I don't remember.
Either way, whoever said it and whoever it was about doesn't matter. It was so weird. He said, he's a man who would rather
fight another man
than
make love to a woman.
Yeah. Would rather fight a man than make love to a woman. And we were like, what?
Why?
Did he tell you that specifically, or 100%.
You just like, did he list out his like hierarchy of needs and like fight a man?
Bottom is fighting men.
Like, what?
The whole pyramid is colored in just fighting men.
Fighting men. Just like, okay.
Me for real. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
but it was so out of the blue because you're like getting hyped, like The Undertaker's coming out, and you're like, whoa, okay. And they're like, yeah, he loves fighting men more than making love to women or whatever. And I just like,
and we were all just like, I want to go back in time and unhear that. Like,
unhear it so. Would rather fight a man than make love to a woman. I just
like,
why?
Where do you get off?
That like, clearly he doesn't.
Right, obviously, because it's just on his brain.
He's too busy fighting men. I don't know. Just it was the weirdest. One of the weirdest.
It was the weirdest,
honestly.
like attribute to give somebody, like, you know what I mean?
Like as if that's a compliment or like
as if it was like a selling point that was gonna like aid him in this match, like this
as if he like running for president. would rather fight men than make love to women. Vote for me. Like, just
I believe in
weird.
celibacy. Like, no, like what? Like, I
Bert,
can't.
what's his name? Bob Backlund is somewhere like, that's what I like to
That's
see.
my guy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So,
So
anyway,
this
weird.
match was all over the place. So it starts before the match even like begins. We see Paul Bearer trying to sneak his way onto the ring apron, and Undertaker turns around in the most just like suave, like, I see everything you're doing, don't even try it, you little rat kind of way. You know what I mean? Like he just like about faced and just
Like,
was like,
so
and was just like, and you literally like Paul Bearer just looks like hand caught in the cookie jar, like could not look more just like, oh, like so good. Like, and the match was just like, once again, ridiculously physical. Undertaker is slamming Mankind's arm, like hand, into the ring steps. He like fully just like picking the entire top part of the ring steps out and just like squishing it, like, and like they just like, it wasn't like one of those like, oh, like cut the camera really quick, like, oh, it looks like he hit him but he didn't. Like, no, you saw his hand between the two pieces of metal just like absolutely get squished, and you were like, okay.
The whole time we were watching, we were just going, ooh. Oh my god. The whole time. We didn't even speak.
The whole time. And then the executioner came out for like maybe 3.5 seconds during the match, which was like gross. And like the Undertaker started like chasing him up the ramp, which was like
gross.
like because it's just like,
you're like, he came out for 3 seconds, which was gross. And then
like, because he's like, he's just so useless to me that I'm like I'm like offended by his sight. I'm always just like, ugh, you again. So he comes out, Undertaker chases him away. Which leads us like to the announcement, not the announcement, they've announced it before, but to the reminder, which I had completely forgotten about, that the Undertaker is going to be taking on the Executioner at this pay-per-view, in a Armageddon Rules match, which is basically just fight until you can't fight anymore, which is basically up to the referee's discretion. So like literally like fight till you die. So like
I was literally like, what's it gonna take? Like somebody's gotta die next match? Like, you know, God forbid. But it's just like, what, my god, every time I turn, no holds barred, Armageddon, steel cage. I'm like, what, buried alive? Like what,
this man can never just have like a ding ding to ding ding match. No, like just once.
No.
So there's one point in the match where the Undertaker is out on in between the two announce desks, and Mankind props his leg up onto a chair and then climbs up onto the ring apron and delivers an elbow drop, which is just absolutely sickening, because the Undertaker's so tall that like anytime his limbs get like bent in any direction, it looks just like way more heinous. And it was brutal. Where he hit him was just like spot on, like elbow, middle of the thigh, leg goes like sideways, like, and then JR just like jumps in with like a, did you hear that pop, which true or not is gross. Like not what you want to hear. So like
there was a woman in the front row like right behind it, and she looked like she was going to be physically ill. She was like,
right, like,
and I was like, girl, me, I cannot imagine seeing that like literally within an inch of your face. Like that is crazy.
And then at one point during the match, so the Mankind has the Undertaker in the mandible claw for like 8.5 years. Just it's in there for
8.5 years.
Just,
swear to
like
God.
It's just fingers down the gullet for so long. So long.
I can't.
But and then the Undertaker, let me back up. My favorite part of this match is the Undertaker on the outside picks up Mankind and like slams him onto the Spanish announce table without clearing the table, without the announcers moving. Like they're all just sitting right there, and like just throws his ass on top of him. Like just like as if like on the workspace you're working on right now, just a fully grown man just was dumped in your lap. and you're just like, oh, okay.
You're just like, oh, okay, I
Right.
guess this meeting is adjourned. We'll pick it back up next week because my laptop is destroyed.
Ugh.
Thank you.
And then the Undertaker catches Mankind in like the most like I don't know, just like out of like thin air. He catches Mankind and like just muscles him into a tombstone, and it's just so like brutal because of how quickly it looks like, because he just like Mankind like jumps to try and like get onto the Undertaker. The Undertaker catches him, just like shoves him into like the tombstone position and just drops him like almost immediately, because like he's trying to sell that like his leg is hurt, so like he's can't just like do the whole nine where he just stands there for like 10 minutes with his opponent, like does the eye roll thing. You know, he can't do it. So like to sell that he was like hurt, he does it like very quickly, but then that's the end of the match. But of course, the episode ends with the executioner bringing his dumbass Halloween parade down the apron to attack the Undertaker some more. And that's how the episode ends, with the two of them feuding.
I'm so livid. Seriously. Like, why can't they ever just let my man have it? They can never just let him have a match. Like, he went literally after the chair, his knee is destroyed. He's like limping all over the place. He somehow still breaks free of the 8.5-year long mandible claw.
Right.
Tombstones him. And then wins. And they just can't let him have it. Then they have to have the executioner come out, mess around, do the little like weird thumb in the neck, which is also gross. To just like mess with him. And then they all like, then Paul Bear and like Mankind and Executioner all like leave la 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 hand in hand down the yellow brick road.
No, literally,
like,
that's the exact image I was thinking. Like, where off to see?
It's so annoying. And I'm like,
right.
Just let my man have the match that he won. Like, I'm so tired of the like interferences and stuff. Like, and I get it, they're gonna fight, and that's why, and like, he has to come in and be annoying, like the Executioner. Excuse me. But like, it's just let him have it. Like,
let him have
making me
one.
mad, seriously.
So they leave us on that note, and that's going to lead us into the In Your House It's Time pay-per-view. So that's gonna have the Undertaker and the Executioner. That's gonna have Triple H versus Mark Miro for the Intercontinental title. That's gonna have the tag team champions, the British Bulldog and Owen Hart, facing Fake Razor and Diesel. In our main event, we're gonna have Bret Hart challenging for the world title against Sycho Sid with Shawn Michaels at ringside.
So cool.
It's gonna be one for the books. I'm hope.
Really excited because like I'm so curious about Bret Hart and Sycho Sid. Like, I'm just
how that's gonna go.
Yes, like, because Sycho Sid hasn't been the champion for that long.
Right.
But like, would they let Bret Hart like lose a match like that? Like, I don't not let him, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just so, this is a great match because I just am like, what way is it gonna go? Which is obviously what you want, but I don't know. I don't know.
Right. And that's how we like to leave it.
So true.
So thank you guys this week. This has been another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. We will catch you next week with a pay-per-view episode. So it'll be a little longer. So brace yourselves for that one. And we'll catch you next week.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.